Hello and welcome back to It's New. It's a new week and we're all here with you again. Lucky you. I got to start this intro with more energy, right? Or else people are going to hit unsubscribe. Sorry,
more
apologize.
energy.
Don't mention that word. Don't mention that. Don't even tell them it's a possibility.
It's not impossible. You cannot unsubscribe.
Thanks.
I mentioned the word again. Every time I mention it, we get 5 new subscribers. All right. Mordy, what are you talking about?
Anchors away in AI overviews.
And Crystal?
They just keep taking everything from us.
And Greg?
And as of today, Google ads are getting political again.
And I'll have a lot more news around ads, links going away, and maybe some type of webmaster report. So stay tuned.
Okay, so this, I don't know why it took so long because it's a painfully obvious thing to do, but here we are. Google has been spotted testing regular anchor text links inside of the AI overview. So not like you have to, click on the link icon. It's the only way to basically access the. It gives you the summary, and in the summary, where it's relevant, they link out to the content that's relevant. What? How long? Why? What took so long?
Do they pass? Are they no followed? Do they pass juice?
This is my question.
You're right. It's weird. Lily Ray spotted this. Not Lily Ray. Sash and Patel spotted this. Sorry about that. And it's nice to have real hyperlinks in there, not just those little paperclip icons.
Yeah, it's almost like you've trained your audience to click on one thing for years and years and years, and then you switch it up, and you don't see people using it the same way. It's strange.
And also, I'm trying to see if it shows up in Google Search Console in that way, because there was a time, I can't remember if it's still like that, but where if you shared a link in your Twitter feed and your Twitter feed was on page 1 of Google, it would show as an impression in Google Search Console. So I'd be interested to know if it shows up there and if that will change around the impressions for that in a different way from the way it's being showed now.
I mean, Google has said the AI overviews now are counted in there if there's links there. So they do, but they don't filter it out for you. So we have no idea. And how does that impact position 1 versus position? It's very confusing. And I wish Google was more transparent. But
if it passes link juice, if it's link juice, is it going to show up in Ahrefs? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, Crystal, I know you want to talk about something that Lily Ray spotted.
Yeah. So first they took away all the the USB ports from everybody's computers, and now they're taking away the favicons and the site icons apparently from the SERP. So Lily Ray was online, and she spotted a version of the SERP where there were no favicons and no site names at the top. So just not even the URL, just the breadcrumb of the page and the page title. And to my mind, I don't like it. I think that I guess it gets more real estate in terms of being able to have more results. But for me, it makes it very difficult to identify which website I'm clicking on and which websites I'm looking at. So I don't like it personally. And I think they should stop this test and just go back to what makes sense to everybody. Personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a couple years old, actually. The site name and favicons launched, I think, October 2022. So I suspect this is more of a bug than a test, but I don't know. I tried replicating it like crazy. I couldn't find it. So it doesn't mean it's not being tested. Google's always testing stuff. But maybe it was Donald Trump's that query that triggered it all. So who knows? And maybe Donald Trump will tweet about it and post it on X because Google's not being fair to him. Google's not being fair to him. So that's what he does, right? Talking about politics and elections, I know, Greg, you're all fired up to talk about this.
Oh no, I'm not fired up at all. I think this is bad for me personally, and for just in general, my kids trying to watch YouTube and things like that. But Google had put a temporary ban on election ads starting on November 5th. They were all paused, whether you liked it or not. You couldn't run them, and Google has now lifted that ban. And you can now run U.S. election ads. I'm not sure about other locations, but at least in the U.S., starting today, you can run political or election ads again. So That's one thing. And then just one other note I wanted to mention that Thomas Cassell spotted over on LinkedIn is that people are seeing with their demand gen audiences that they're in many cases just being called signals, which is strange. He's got a screenshot in there where some of the lookalike segments, typically you thought that they would match. You kind of have like narrow reach, expanded reach, or what's the name? Balanced reach and broad reach. And you thought they would like kind of like stick to that audience and like be expanded by those percentages that you can choose. It's kind of saying signal in there now, which is a little bit strange. Signals just were a new thing that were launched with Performance Max, and you just kick start something with a signal, and then it kind of goes off on its own. And could turn into whatever it wants. So hoping to see some more information there, but if you would just make sure you're checking your performance with some of those demand gen audiences, because those lookalikes seem like some of them are turning into signals.
Cool. So I wasn't going to cover this, but I want to cheer you up since you had such a bad morning, Greg. And Anthony Higman spotted that the sponsor labels being hidden again sometimes, specifically with like the local map finder. So you do a search for like preschool near me or anything really near me, and the local finder comes up in the Google search results. Often Google will title the sponsor listings on the left-hand side with a sponsored list tag on it. And then, but sometimes they're not. When you mouse over this, some listings that don't have sponsored labels on them, it will only show the sponsor label on the right-hand side when you mouse over it on the map. So it's delaying showing the sponsor label. Now, I couldn't replicate this for a while. So I waited and kept testing over the weekend. And finally, I was able to trigger it yesterday. So I decided to cover it today. This comes after Jimmy Marfin said, there's no change to our ad policy. On rare occasions, we see similar reports about this. This is due to browser plugins and nothing to do with Google. But it's not. It's something Google seems to be testing, or it's a bug. So it seems like Google's delaying showing the sponsor labels on my pads. Sometimes I was able to replicate in some browsers with absolutely no extensions at all. So it's a little concerning, but it will drive more clicks to Greg's clients. So it's a good thing, and you should be happy now.
No, this is a bad thing. You need to have the ad disclosure. Like in this case here, you could do a search, you could see a phone number show up, and you could just type that in and call it. And it's like, people don't know that that's sponsored. Like I feel like that case, and I would have to look at the law, and maybe somebody smarter like Sam Tomlinson could talk about that. But being able to showing that ad and not disclosing it and having like action things that you can take right from your phone without seeing that it's an ad, that seems wrong to me. Right? Like you don't want people to hate ads. You want them to like ads. I don't know. I thought that's weird. And then
okay, fine.
It's not good for anybody, because if that's an ad and somebody like clicks into it and then they see it's an ad and like, oh, you're deceiving me. Like that's just not a good experience. This one.
Right. Nobody likes to be lied to. I hear you. That can make you sad. All right, I'm gonna try again. So maybe this will cheer you up. Google Ads announced or released version 2.8 of Google Ads Editor. So now you have a newer version with newer features that make you happy, maybe. Hopefully.
Barry, you just made my day. Everybody that knows me knows that my favorite number in the entire world is 2.8. I couldn't have had better news than this today, Barry. Thank you so much.
All right, awesome. I'm glad. I think Mordy wants to say. Mordy seems eager to say.
No, that's too. The moment's gone. It's fine.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Maybe to make Mordy happy, because I know how much you loved help a reporter out, HARO. It's closing down.
How would that make him happy? That would make him sad.
Now I was going to get more requests to my LinkedIn to buy links.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it's interesting because there's other alternatives. The founder of the original HARO created something called just last month, Sources of Sources. I guess he knew it was closing down. And there's other alternatives to this. So if you do want to go ahead and buy links or get links through connecting with journalists, you can go ahead and do that through those efforts. Although Google allegedly in the past went after these HARO links in some way. So be careful with that type of stuff. And then finally, if I actually forgot to post a Google Webmaster Report. Every month I post a Webmaster Report about what's going on in Google in the past month, and I forgot because of all the days I was offline in October. So somehow it slipped my mind, but I posted it today. If you want to catch up on all the big news over the past month, you're able to quickly get it there. In any event, thanks so much for listening. We're back tomorrow with more search news and hopefully more happiness for Greg.
Can't wait.
Happy. Happy, happy, joy, joy.
Bye bye.
Bye.